Howdy y'all.
Hi guys.
It's Ryan.
And Angela.
From RNA Music.
We're both born on Angels.
We are. We planned that very well, didn't we?
We did. We really did.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Or Statesboro.
Statesboro. No, we're not. Welcome to, this is actually Ask RNA number 40.
Yeah.
Which would be like FAQ Friday number 5 million.
Something like that.
Except it's not Friday, it's Saturday.
I think it'd be like 200 maybe. FAQ 200 or something like that.
Close to it. Close to 200 FAQs for us. But
yeah. I
don't even know. Change of scenery today because we're standing.
Yes.
I have to stand today. No
That's
sitting.
okay.
No sitting.
It's okay.
First question. Hard questions.
Yeah.
Flipside Music asks, out of all the companies you work with, which ones are your favorite and why?
Ooh.
Well, that's a great question there, Anthony. Let's see. Do you have any favorites?
Lolly's Loops.
Oh, yeah, by far. Lolly's Loops.
Yeah.
Absolutely my favorite company.
Is that cheesy? We'll probably get some dumb, responses. Oh, you're supposed to
How's that go?
Oh,
I'm sure we will.
I know Ike wouldn't, but there's other people who are being ugly.
Yeah.
Why you talk about Lolly's? Okay, sorry. That's my troll voice. That's what I hear when I read trolls. Yeah. Anyway.
Which is different than my troll voice.
Yes. I would say my favorite company that we work... Oh gosh, that's hard. Because we have accessory companies and we have guitar companies. And they deliver on two different areas. And they're all pretty great to work with. So I'm not sure what my favorite is.
Mine are pretty easy, actually. I can actually answer this pretty easy. Although we do work with a lot of great companies. There's two in particular that really stand above the rest, as far as my opinion.
With customer service and...
Yeah. Number one is probably D'Addario. What'd you say?
I said D'Addario.
D'Addario. D'Addario, yeah. Now, a lot of that has to do with my reps that I've had from them, particularly John Pizzarusso.
And they've been with us since the beginning.
Yeah.
So...
probably the first company we actually carried. And our first company that we signed up to be dealers for was D'Addario.
Yeah. But
they've been really, really good to us. And they are the biggest accessory company there is in the music industry.
Right.
There's nobody bigger than D'Addario when it comes to strings and that kind of stuff. So they are big daddies. I gotta lean over.
Okay. That's why I'm leaning.
My back hurts.
It's my hip. I can't stand on my hip for too long.
So, and they've been very good to us, and they treat us really well, even though we're a tiny, tiny little shop, probably compared to most of their other accounts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they've always treated us like we're one of the biggest accounts that they carry. They're very good to us, very supportive. They understand the small mom and pop shops, and they support the independent dealers. And so they've been very, very good to us. They will promote our stuff on social media, on Instagram. They'll share our stuff. And so they've been very good. Yeah. So I love those guys and gals that work there. They've been very, very supportive, above and beyond.
Right.
So they're right there. And then number two, actually, I'm going to have to say probably EMG pickups.
Oh.
Because...
I thought you were going to say Washburn.
Well, no.
I really was. I thought.
Yeah, you thought so?
Yeah, well, because you own a lot of Washburn.
I do own a lot of Washburn.
We sell a lot of Washburn. So,
we do.
And they're like the second guitar company that we...
Yeah.
We've had them for 6 years.
Yes,
We've
we have.
them for 6 years now.
There's been some recent restructuring.
Yes.
Of their company.
We're sad to see a lot of our the people that we worked with go.
A lot of the people that I know and have been dealing with one-on-one with Washburn for the last many years are no longer with Washburn, and there's been...
That's what happens when you work with big companies.
Yeah. I mean, companies companies buy other companies, and companies become subsidiaries and things like that. And so, they have been great for a long time, but there's a little bit of a transition going on right now. We're trying to get a feel for the new people that we work with.
Right,
that kind of stuff.
right.
But I was going to say EMG because they're also, again, another huge company.
Yes.
As far as pickup companies go, like everybody knows who EMG is.
Mm-hmm.
The
big guys, musicians know who EMG is.
Oh yeah, they're a big daddy company, and as far as their reach in the industry,
yeah,
and they've been very nice to us.
Yeah,
like extremely nice to us as far as
us
supporting us. Social media, they'll share our stuff on their Instagram and Facebook and. And I see that anytime I post something on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, the company will usually come in and like my post, and I'm like, "Oh, that's great,"
cool.
you know. And they've worked with us, knowing the size of company we are, that we're not a Guitar Center, we're not a Sweetwater, we're not a big massive place, and they know that and they get that. But they also like what we do on YouTube and social media and all that kind of stuff. They've kind of got to know us and they like us, and they're a family-owned business.
Yeah,
and so, you know, the things that the way they've been supportive of us and communication from them to a very small dealer has really been impressive. And that's the thing. As a dealer, when you feel like we are small time, kind of compared to a lot of other dealers,
right? But
when these companies treat you with the same respect and the same everything as they do their hugest, biggest dealers, it really makes us feel good, and it creates a lot of loyalty. I'll say this: so I'm extremely loyal to D'Addario and EMG, but we sell other strings other than D'Addario. We do carry other accessories here, but I have to say, you treat people the way you want to get treated, and that kind of comes around, Mike. So. Yeah, there we are. Of all the companies we carry, if I had to place them in order, D'Addario,
top two.
Then EMG. Those are the top two.
Yeah.
Now, we wouldn't carry other companies, if we didn't like them. So we get to choose. All right.
Yes.
Thank you for your question, Anthony.
Anthony. Yes. Awesome. Next question.
Perry R. from Southern New Jersey. Greetings again. Good lollies. Hope you're doing okay with that wicked Texas heat. Yeah, it's hot.
It's hot today.
Super hot. It's been like
normally
degrees.
In the car when we get in, to come here around 10:30, it's usually 85 in the car. But today was, when I came here about, what was it?
1 o'clock?
1 o'clock?
1:30.
It was 107 in the car.
It's toasty. We're making it, though. Got our AC fixed, so now that helps.
Yeah, and that's not even a heat index. That's just what the temperature is.
That's just the normal temperature. All right, pretty hot, humid here in South Jersey, too. Have either of you had an opportunity to listen to that Queen tune I suggested a while back, Dragon Attack?
No, we haven't.
No, I haven't, actually. I've thought about it briefly, but I thought, you need to listen to that song.
Yeah, it was funny, yesterday, Nicholas was looking up something, and he said, "Is that what Freddie Mercury looks like?" And I was like, yeah. He's like, that's not who I pictured singing those songs.
He's only heard the voice.
I was like, yeah, it's kind of odd when you see him for the first time. I remember thinking that as a kid, going, he obviously was a thumb sucker when he was little, because he has he had an extreme overbite, and it's just very okay, cool.
He's a very unique. Of
course, I loved
fellow.
it. He was very unique looking young man.
Man, could he sing?
Very talented, though. Yeah, ridiculous.
Angela, have you watched Breaking Bad? It's quite possibly my all-time favorite TV series, at least number 2, and I'm going all the way back to the late 60s when you two were just a gleam in your parents' eyes. Keep rolling out those lively vids. Have a kick-a week.
Yes, the late 60s, my mom was 10. Yeah. So a real gleam. Mom was 10, my dad was 19 in the late 60s. So yeah, my dad was almost 20 in the late 60s and my mom was 10. But yes, I have seen Breaking Bad, and it is pretty stupid awesome.
I thought you were going to say pretty bad.
It's bad.
To the bone.
To the bone. Bad behind. It is bad donkey. I really, really liked it. I really, really, really. I mean, at first it was like, where are they going with this? And then by the end of the first episode, I was hooked. I was like shouting at the TV, "What?" It was good. I really liked it. I'm waiting for You Better Call Saul to come on Netflix because I haven't watched it live on AMC.
You haven't kept up.
Is it You Better Call Saul?
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
And because I really liked his character on Breaking Bad, so I'm really excited to see his previous, where he got to where he was on Breaking Bad, laundering money and stuff like that. So I think it'll be really cool. But yeah, it was up there. Like, I binge watched like the whole, because I didn't watch it when it was live. I watched it, streamed it on Netflix, and I binge watched that sucker a couple years ago, like the whole thing.
Yes, you did.
Like in like 2 days.
That was more like a week.
Yeah, it felt like 2 days, like, because I was into it. It was good. I liked it a lot. I was really sad to see it go, but yeah.
I haven't really watched it. I would catch glimpses as she was watching it, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, all the characters, people, actors that I've seen in other shows, the range on a lot of those guys and gals that were on that show was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was very well written, and I liked the way they did the timeline, and they were jumping around, and they would show flashbacks, and then you were like, well, when did that happen? When does this happen? And then they would show you how he got to this point, and then they would retrace back, and they would. I liked how they did that. But yeah, I don't know what my number one show is right now. I'm trying to find a really good show. I don't want to watch Orange is the New Black. I don't want to watch that. I don't really care for shows like that. I don't like majority of women cast. That sounds horrible, but I really just don't.
So
I mean,
sexist.
Last time I did was Golden Girls.
They were pretty good, though.
So, but yeah, I'm trying to find a really good show to watch next. But
That's not a cartoon.
Yeah.
I just finished Voltron on Netflix.
Yeah, that was...
It's great.
Yeah, and he did Daredevil was on Netflix.
Daredevil was great.
Oh, and I just finished Strange Things on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. That was pretty interesting. I liked it because it kept with the whole 80s genre. Like, it felt like a movie that they pulled from the 80s and just put on Netflix. I loved it. I mean, little details, even on the set, those little bitty things that I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember we had one of those. It was really cool to see the music, even the background, the score to the show was very, very 80s. I loved it. It was. I loved that part of it, and the storyline was just wicked, and it gave me like a funky feeling when I watched it because it was very sinister, but it was very X-Files kind of, weird.
Looking forward to the new Marvel stuff on Netflix, like
yeah.
Iron Fist and Luke Cage.
Yeah. I'm
excited
Netflix is actually putting out their own original stuff because it's actually quite good.
I think I'm going to have to watch the Jessica Jones thing because they're going to tie all those in together.
Yeah, I've watched like 2 episodes and I just don't care for it. I don't like watching like a lot of sex driven, like they have to have this dumb just to make it edgy. I'm like, I'd rather you blow a hole in someone's head than watch sex.
I'd rather you kill somebody than go that way.
I'd rather.
Is there a lot of that on Jessica Jones?
A little bit. And it's just like unnecessary to this plot. It's not like, oh, I see. She's trying to get information out of this guy, or this is a torn relationship. It's just dumb.
Kind of like everything in Batman versus Superman.
Or Daredevil.
Daredevil was good. I like Daredevil.
I know, but I'm just saying the unnecessary.
Oh, they were, unnecessary things.
Yeah. So,
it doesn't really add to the plot.
So that was the only thing. And I hate it because David Tennant is in it as the
doctor,
the bad guy, and he's this like telekinetic. He gets in your mind. He makes you think what he wants you to think, and he changes your perception of reality. And I haven't gotten to that point yet. I've heard him talk, and she's like, "Oh God, he's back!" But then I was like, "Eh."
I'm looking forward to it
because I don't really care for the girl who's playing.
I don't know anything about that character actually.
Yeah.
So.
So
there you go.
We took a long time on that.
We went to town.
You know me, I'm a TV kid. I was raised on television. Like, whenever my dad and I talk, we talk about television.
She likes her TV.
So I love actors and TV stuff. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. It's my thing. So, yeah. So I'll go off on that.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, for a long time.
Next question. Tyler Sneed. Hey guys, love the videos. Couple questions. How can a fellow bearded brother in Alabama get an RNA shirt? Also interested in a CMG guitar. What kind of cost would it be for a spalted maple cap with ebony fretboard on an all mahogany body? Well, easiest thing to do, Tyler, is shoot me an email at rnamusic@live.com and get me your size that you want for a shirt. I'll see what we have in stock, and then if we don't have it in stock, I'll just...
Because we don't have these. We have these in summer colors.
Yeah,
we have the gray.
Yeah, there's no gray ones, but we do have some bright orange and
summery
green and yellow
yeah.
of the Phoenix tees. But it just depends on what size you need, and if we don't have it on stock, I try to like make a note, and then when we do a next printing run, I'll make sure we get that size if you need it. As far as the CMG guitar goes, I'm not sure. They have made a couple of spalted top ones. Chris did tell me it does add to the cost because those spalted tops are expensive for him, just from a material standpoint. And they're a little more difficult to work with sometimes. So, I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. I know you're looking at a price increase for an ebony board versus a rosewood board. It's probably about $100 difference, I'm guessing. Then maybe a $300 price uptake for the spalted maple, possibly. But that'd be one of those things, just you could shoot me an email as well with kind of what you want, and I pass that along to CMG Guitars, and they will give me a price point, and I give you the price point, and that kind of a thing. But yeah, you're definitely looking at a price increase. Over the base models are $799,
yeah. So
you're looking at $800 minimum for the bass guitar. And then, you might be looking at an extra 3 to 4 probably. I'm guessing. I could be wrong. I could be higher, could be low, but I'm guessing maybe 3 to 4 for those tops. So, but again, just shoot me an email about the T-shirt, and then here's what spec do you want, and I pass it along to them. They create a build sheet and then give me pricing. So,
awesome.
There you go, man. Michael Kingston. I have found, as of late, numerous guitar companies. What do you think the smaller brands and or boutique companies have to do to get to the level that, say, Fender or Gibson is at?
Ooh.
Well, I've been thinking about this, and I don't know that they can. Like, I don't know that it's possible.
It would take a long time, and I don't think the market is there like it was whenever those guys came on the scene. And you have to think of all of the artists who started playing Fenders and Gibson, and the reason why current artists are playing Fenders and Gibson is because these pioneer guys. It's a history that most people are not going to get. They're just not going to get it. And
I'm getting my Texas
that's
sweet
how
tea.
I think. I mean, you're going to have some that might reach like somewhat of a popularity, but the amount of branding and money and just sheer luck, just dumb luck, I think, to be at the right place at the right time, company-wise. I don't think that no one's gonna. It will take years.
I don't think they can catch up. I mean, the closest company is PRS.
Yeah.
So, I'd say the big 3 American companies are Fender, Gibson, and PRS. And PRS, I mean, they're like 30 years now, something like that. I mean, they've been at it for a long time.
We have quite a few companies that celebrated 30, 40 years recently. But, again, even when people come into our store and we had Schecter guitars, there were a lot of people will say, "What's a Schecter?"
What's a Schecter?
And they've been around for 40 years.
Never heard of them.
But then we're like, so you don't carry any Gibson or Fender? No. And that's what they usually do. Washburn is another kind of household name.
Yeah,
But
they've been around for hundreds.
But even
of years.
then, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I didn't know Washburn made electrics or acoustic, or it's whichever one the family is used to having around."
They certainly don't think of Washburn as a high-end USA company.
Yeah.
That's not they're necessarily their reputation, even though they did make some very nice USA guitars for a while, but they weren't able to. I would put any of the USA Washburns up against any USA Gibson, Fender, or PRS. Like, absolutely. Fine quality, but they just did not have the marketing and the muscle behind them to compete at that level.
Yeah.
Even though the quality, I think, was superior to Gibson's. Equal to PRS, superior to Gibson's, I think. But they just didn't have the marketing muscle behind them and the industry. So I don't think that anybody ever will catch up. I mean, it's just, I don't think there's enough time. And they were there from the beginning.
Right.
The beginning of rock and roll, Gibson and Fender were there. The beginning of solid body electric guitars, Fender and Gibson were there. Now, I think you can come along like some of the other companies but even like Schecter and ESP and PRS and all these other companies, I mean, they've been at it for a really long time too, and they're, like you said, not even as well known. They're very well known.
Yes.
But not as well known as Fender and Gibson.
Right.
So
but you're thinking of, there's like different bubbles of knowledge when it comes to people who know guitars. There's the people who are just like diehard guitar fans who go and Google and chat room and blog and converse about all kinds of guitars because they just want to know. Well, that is a very, very finite bubble of people. And then you have people who play. Well, when they play, they're only going to play the brand that they know the best. They're only going to have strings of the brand that they know the best. And so it's still a finite bubble. And then you come out here where you have the general population who strum this. I got this guitar from so-and-so.
Yeah, looking for
I
a
have
guitar.
for my kid. And all they know or what they've seen on television and what their band of somebody that they play. They're like, well, my great uncle had a Fender and I remember that as a kid. So, and then that's like the biggest population of people those people, they'll actually be like, what's a Schecter? Washburn? Oh, I don't think, we've had people say, I've never heard of Washburn, So it's...
You've never heard of Washburn?
Washburn?
They've been around since like 18.
I knew who Washburn was. Because my mom had a Washburn guitar.
They've been around longer than Martin, actually.
So that's how it works. So whenever you come out here, this is the group of people that you want to...
I gotta answer
once
this.
you get there.
RNA Music. All right, thanks, man. 12 strings. Okay, then, what were we saying?
And so the people out here is the general population that once you get from here to here to here, if you get here as a company, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people get there.
I don't think they can make it. That doesn't mean these boutique builders and smaller builders can't become like a mid-level company.
Yeah.
I mean, you can certainly...
You can get from here to here, because people sign artists all the time who play their guitars, and they might be big-time YouTubers or whatever, traveling, touring, whatever. But that's still just here. And they're only going to influence those people who are like, oh, I love to play guitar, I play in my local blah, blah, blah. And that doesn't mean they're coming out here where people who barely know anything about guitars are going to know your name. So,
I don't necessarily think it necessarily can be done at this point in time, really. Now, that could change. I mean, things could be different 100 years from now.
Yeah.
But I think
that's what I'm saying. It would take
time is the
about that
factor, because there are big daddy companies that aren't really, Fender and Gibson could die off. That could happen. I mean, if you look at drums, at the drum companies, if you go back quite a few years, the big daddy names in drums were Ludwig, Ludwig, and like Rogers, and who was the other? Slingerland. Ludwig and Slingerland. I mean, they were like the Gibson and Fender of their day of drum companies. Where are they now?
Yeah.
They ain't the big dogs no more. They're not even close to the big dogs anymore. Now it's Pearl, a Japanese company, Tama, a Japanese company,
DW,
Yamaha, a Japanese company. Oh, DW. So yeah, they're the other American company who's still relevant. Ludwig's still out there, and there are a few guys who play Ludwig, but they're not relevant really anymore. So, but they were for many, 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 many years. and now they're not. But it's taken a long, long time. So, you know, who knows?
That's what I'm saying. That's that sure luck. Like, you get that specific person who wants to play your stuff, and they just happen to be like at the pinnacle of what's cool. You know, it could be like a Led Zeppelin of their time or a Metallica of their time, where they have these drum players or guitar players who everybody wants to be like.
Yep.
You know, and it'll take somebody like that showing up. Oh, what does that say on his drum kit? You know, or what does that say on his guitar? Oh, that looks awesome. You know, so it has a Fender body, but that's not a Fender. You know, so it's you know.
It takes. I think it takes. If it does happen, it takes somebody extremely famous. You know, PRS and Mesa Boogie probably would not be where they are today if not for Carlos Santana years and years and years ago. In their formative early days, you had a really high-profile guy like Carlos at the time who was respected by other musicians, his contemporaries, and Carlos wasn't going to play crap. Right. And so, you know, you get somebody like that who's a high-profile, respected ambassador for your brand.
Yes.
You need that. That's one little tiny element. But then on the other end of it, your stuff's got to be good.
Right.
The stuff actually has to be good.
Right.
And then there's customer service and follow-up and service for dealers. And there's a lot of things that have to fall into place. So, you know. But
even then, that person, whomever, like a Carlos Santana, he goes across the board. Where nobody, it's like an Elvis, who, like, a lot of people know who Carlos Santana is.
Yeah, even if you're into his music, they're like...
You know who Carlos Santana is.
Yeah.
You know. And so, just like, you know, Metallica. Like, my parents know who Metallica is. Do they listen to him? No. But they know exactly who they are.
Yep.
So, if they saw something, they're like, oh, that looks like one of those guys who play. You know what I'm saying? So
and Metallica, too. They used boogies back in the day, so...
You know. So, it also has to be a guy, maybe not like... Sinister Gates, not my, you know what I'm saying? Not, you have to really, 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 really know who he is to know what he does. Yeah. Not, you could go out to Walmart and ask, who's Sinister Gates? And you're like, I don't know, but he doesn't sound right.
He does.
It's like, you know, it's like, what? Does he have
Is that a bad guy?
Is that a Marvel character? You know? So it's like I said, it has to be someone. It's like like dumb luck, pretty much.
So there's a good point, because you know Schecter tried to launch an amp line, and there was a Sinister Gates signature model amp. Still, they couldn't get any traction with their amp line.
I wonder why.
But you know, if James Hetfield started playing it, they would probably sell.
Shoot, if Taylor Swift started playing it.
That would be awesome.
It would totally sell. Are you kidding me? That's what I'm saying. It's like Taylor Swift is a household name. Sinister Gates is not. So it's sheer dumb luck. It's like you have to have that specific person who is a household name.
To people who are not in that genre.
To some grandma. I saw this cute little girl. Her name was Swiftly, like the Swiffer. Taylor Swift. She plays that cute little guitar. I'm going to buy one for my niece. You know what I'm saying? It's exactly like that.
That's exactly right.
Grandma's not going to go, there's this man, a sinister, he's like scary front porch. What is it? What?
Sinister Gates, Grandma.
Yes, Sinister Gates. Oh, I don't know who that is, baby. Not gonna make it. And in guitar companies, people who are listening, you should take heed. You know what I'm saying?
Now we're not hating on Sinister Gates or
no. I'm just saying that's a perfect example.
Because anybody who's into rock music,
I don't even know what he looks like.
Will know who that is. If you're
I don't even know what the band he's in.
If you're into rock or metal, you'll know who that is. But we're talking about the broad spectrum of the public itself.
Just like a granny, who
like
comes in, and
granny.
we've had come in to buy guitars from us for their children and grandchildren.
You know who Elvis is? Didn't Elvis play a Gibson? Yes.
Yes. But if you tell her, oh, well, you know, Elvis played that guitar too. Oh, well, good.
Oh, well, that's a good one then.
Well, then Jesus would play it too.
Probably so, Grandma.
Yeah.
He might not play that Sinister Gates guitar, though.
No.
He would play the Jeff Loomis guitar. That's what Jesus would play.
That's what Jesus.
All right. Anyways, great question, Michael. Great discussion point. Thanks so much. Yep. Chuck J. A couple of questions this week. Ryan, have you ever built a guitar from scratch? And if so or not, what type of body neck and pickups would you put in it? Power chords versus bar chords. For Angela, what is the largest object you have made for your business? Which guitar does Angela play? Keep the videos. What's the largest crochet item you've created?
Queen size blanket for Ryan.
Oh, it's king size.
It is king size, isn't it? Because it covers our bed.
It does.
King size blanket with interchanging color stripes. Oh, well, it's just black and taupe. Black and taupe. It matched our bedroom at the time. So.
Pretty massive.
Yeah, it was redonkulous. And it was like 50 scarves sewn together.
5 million
It was
scarves.
ridiculous. It took a long time. It took me about a year to crochet it. Off and on for about a year and a half, maybe.
Yep. Which guitar do you play?
I don't play.
She doesn't play.
I don't. I collect. I don't play.
She has a nice sparkly blue Epiphone Les Paul.
I do.
You have a Washburn.
That I got like, oh my gosh, 12 years ago?
Yo, yeah,
Like
quite
this
a while.
was like 3 or 4, something like that.
It's a cool guitar.
Yeah.
It was a swanky Epiphone Les Paul at the time.
Yes.
It had a USA Gibson pickups. It's nice. It sparkles blue.
Yeah.
You also have a Washburn 3/4 size acoustic. You also have a Washburn mandolin.
Yes, I
you
have
also
a
have a Kala ukulele.
Have a flute.
Flute.
Yeah.
She doesn't play them very often, though.
I ain't got time.
Nobody got time.
I
You're
seriously
busy crocheting
really
stuff
don't.
for money.
Yeah.
I have never built a guitar from scratch. That's something I would love to do, but again, who has the time? I don't have the time for that. Type of body, neck, and pickups would I put in it? Probably mahogany body, probably maple neck, probably EMG pickups because they're awesome.
Yeah.
And they're very nice. They're number 2.
Or tied for first.
They're tied for first.
There you go.
Tied for first. Actually, it's a funny story. One of the reasons we have such a good relationship with EMG actually is tied into our relationship with D'Addario. But that's another story. So, anyways. Power chords versus bar chords. Both. Use both.
Do it.
But if you're tired and your hand hurts, play power chords. Yeah. Thanks for the question, Chuck. All right, last question. Big John.
Yes.
I think this is Florida Big John.
Yes, it is.
Hi, guys. What's your thoughts on the tritone? Medieval hoopla for the makings of great heavy metal. So he's talking about the an interval. Oh, I shouldn't have picked up that one. That one was really heavy. I'm not going to hit you.
Famous last words.
That's the tritone. I should have used an acoustic.
Yeah. That's not going to pick up.
Yeah, you're not going to hear that. I think it's great. You wouldn't have Black Sabbath without the tritone.
Oh, right.
Or most rock music at all.
Right.
In the olden days, they avoided using that interval whenever possible because they thought it was the devil's music.
It is.
That specific relationship between a root note and a flat 5. So dissonant. They thought it was demonic. It's just a note. I don't, like I said, you wouldn't have rock and roll without it, or heavy metal, so it doesn't bother me.
Well, if you play it 6 times in a row, it's 6.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. No, I didn't say do that. I mean, we don't want to...
Over and over again in the mirror in your bedroom and then turn off the lights.
Yeah, don't do that. You don't want to, like...
It's like saying Beetlejuice.
Don't go crazy. What's the one? Sandman?
Bloody Mary.
What was the...
I can't remember what... No, it's
What's that movie? Guy with the hook?
Yeah. Candyman.
Candyman.
Ah.
Can. Just don't play it too many times in a row.
Sprinkle it for doom.
It's great for the metals. I don't know that it's that useful for a lot of other styles, but it's all good.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Big John.
Thanks, Big John.
You scared the crap out of us.
See?
Devil's music.
Devil's music. I didn't play it 6 times. I think I only played it like 5 times. I can't play any more tritones today.
Did that guitar get closer? It's like It's like the ring, guitar ring.
I think it's. I think it's.
Guitar's gonna start coming out of.
I think it's Sinister Gate's favorite interval. All the tritones.
All day.
That's Trigon's favorite interval. You know who Trigon is. Don't worry about it.
All right.
You're not a real nerd. All right, I think that's all we have time for today. I have to go home and ice my back now.
Right.
Do my stretches, and then do we have an ice pack? Did we ever find it?
I haven't found it.
Crap.
Yeah.
But it's go time. Time to go. Thank you guys so much for your questions. Appreciate it. We had to put this off a week because last week there were no questions. So thank you for coming back and asking questions so we could shoot this.
Right.
So you have a question for next week. Go ahead and leave your comments.
Leave them.
Do the comments, but go ahead and leave some questions if you want us to answer some questions.
I'm going to take my heels off.
Your heels are off?
Look how little I am.
Let's do the roll.
Look how little I am compared to you.
Well, I am wearing flippy floppies. Let me take off my flippy floppies.
Your flip flops aren't as. It didn't change anything. That's how short I am.
Let's stand shoulder to shoulder.
And I'm sticking out my chest.
Who's the tallest? Why'd you say that name?
Why'd you say that name? It's his mother's name.